Why? So, Dwayne Johnson is all but confirmed to join the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Oh boy. I'm gonna read, I'm gonna give you my assessment. Because, of course, right? Of course. So, Dwayne Johnson's run as Black Adam in the DC Extended Universe was short lived, as DC Studios wanted nothing to do with him following the release of the film. Black Adam underperformed at the box office thanks to the film's shoddy story and screenplay, clunky visual effects, video game like dialogue. James Gunn's current plan for the DCU does not involve Johnson. However, Gunn did discuss with Johnson plans to work with his production company, $7. You know, you have a production company, and incorporate Black Adam into the future storylines in the DCU. Head honcho Kevin Feige of Marvel, Kevin Feige, however, has taken interest in Johnson and his talents, according to Giant Freaking Robot. Dwayne Johnson is in advanced talk at Marvel Studio to join the MCU. I am a gigantic fan of Dwayne Johnson. I think he's an incredible and awesome in Pain and Gain, and he's great in a G.I. Joe. He's really kind of amazing human being. I would love for him to be part of the Marvel Universe somewhere, someday. Dwayne Johnson has been listening to Feige's praise and praise of him all along. Not long after, Johnson thanked Feige and told him that he would be ready to join the MCU. The Rock tweeted a picture of himself along Marvel's comics Luke Cage. Now, it's a whole article. You can look it up. I don't want to. Why? And I know this sounds like hatred, and I don't hate The Rock, but his acting, eh. He and let's just call a spade a spade. Kevin Feige, James Gunn gave him. We'll see what happens. Basically, like information or a send off. Hey, it didn't work out this time, but let's see what happens down the line. It's like a soft, uh, politically correct breakup. Now, as far as him joining Marvel, because of his build and his physique, and there's limited characters he could play. They're saying maybe have him be Ares, you know, Mike Coulter. Mike Coulter played Luke Cage, so for him to just, hey, I want to be Luke Cage. I don't know, I believe if they're bringing, I do believe with them bringing back Daredevil and Michael Cox, that I do believe Mike Coulter, Charlie Cox, sorry, I do believe Mike Coulter and Luke Cage won't be far behind. Now, as far as what I believe, I just think he's 50 years old. So if you get him for a project somewhere, somewhere down the line, you're talking about a man who would be what, 55, 60. The pick, like, he could be, he's getting at that point where being the muscle bound hero gets harder and harder. You can be too old for certain things. Look at Sylvester Stallone. I love the Expendable series. I know the last two ain't do well. I love the Expendable series, but it was hard watching him in the last experience trying to chug and 70 plus, and he's trying to do Expendables 4. He looks amazing for somebody mid-70s, but it comes to a point where it's just like you gotta let it go. Now, am I saying, of course, this guy being 20 years younger is at that point? No. Um, but I just feel like I like where are you gonna put him in the universe? Because if you don't got something for him now or somewhere, somehow down the line, especially with how he's more jacked than Sly is, and I just don't know if it'll work. I'll give you another example of being too old. X-Men. X-Men came out 2000. You know, Hugh Jackman, Halle Berry. Now, little backstory. I grew up in a home. The reason why I'm an avid gamer, my mother was a gamer. And, you know, we had to play this game where we would throw out for the, you know, the games. And since games and comics are kind of intertwined, which is why I do a lot of comic stuff on this channel, which is for the most part it's a gaming channel, but to me those two genres are intertwined: comics, books, and games. We would do this game where we would call out actors and we would say who's perfect for a role. We actually ironically got Patrick Stewart right for Charles Xavier, but one person that we could be a very good Storm we figured was Angela Bassett. Now, if you look at her role in Ramonda, the power in her voice, the strength of how she talks and how she acts, if you would watch the animated X-Men series from the 90s, how Storm would act, and she had this booming voice when she would call her lightning and her tornadoes, she would have been a perfect Storm. Halle Berry was weak as Storm to me. She was good on the eyes, but weak. But I understood why they cast Halle Berry because at the time, Angela Bassett was, I think, in her 40s, right? She looks amazing for her age, but I think she was like in her going into her 40s or her late 30s, 40s, and they wanted to make a series out of the X-Men going forward. So I just think you do get to a point where it can get kind of hard to factor him in. And the older he gets, he might have to do stuff to keep his muscle mass. After 40 for men, you lose a percentage of muscle mass a year. I think it's all around, right? And this guy's 50. And he's jacked than most people. Of course, he has the money where he can buy all the best technology, nutritionists. I mean, nobody can eat like him because if you see his breakfasts, it's you gotta have the money to do so. But even then, Father Time's undefeated, right? I just don't know where you could put him in the Marvel universe. We'll see what becomes of it, but they are seeming like they're talking and flirting with the idea of bringing him on. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Is this just a crazy rant? Or do you see what I'm talking about? This is Revos, and I'm out.